What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an unboxing and review of the HEAVYS HE1 earbuds. Now, I pre-ordered these back when they originally announced these back in the summer. I was very anxious to get these in. They did come in, but however, we had to wait until they updated the app to where they would support the earbuds. And now that they've gotten that all squared away, we can dive right in and talk about these. Now, speaking of which, let's go ahead and do that. As far as price goes, these start off at $199. However, I did see there was a reducing price to $169. I don't know if that's currently going on, but as always, I'll leave links in the description so you can check it out if you're interested. Maybe they are still running that sale price at this point. As far as colorways, you only get the black for these. Obviously, they just like the headphones, the H1Hs. They come in that stealth black. And I'm not mad at that at all. As far as Bluetooth version, they do rock Bluetooth 5.4 with codec support of AAC, SBC, aptX, aptX Adaptive, and aptX HD. As they do have active noise canceling with transparency mode. As far as battery life, you can get up to 8 hours on a single charge with the earbuds. When you include the case, you can get up to 24 hours. They do offer fast charging. However, no specific times have been posted for it. So once I figure that out, I will leave that pinned in the comments section. As far as charging time from 0 to 100, the earbuds themselves will take 1.5 hours, whereas the case will take 2 hours. As far as water resistance rating, the earbuds are rated IPX5 sweat resistance, so you can rock these in the gym or doing any type of exercise or any type of work and getting sweaty. You don't have to worry about it. You're good. As far as features go, they brought dynamic drivers in each earbud. They didn't give us a millimeter size of them as of right now. Again, another thing that I will post in a pin in the comments when I find that out. The sound is tuned by Axel Grail. He is the engineer, the founder, the developer of these earbuds, just like the H1H headphones. They have dual core chipset. We have touch controls. We have multi-point connectivity on these, and we also have app support for Android and iOS. So I can't wait to get into these. I love the H1H headphones. They sound fantastic, especially when it comes to movies with that drive, with those drivers that they have in them. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going on. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the H1Es. Let's go ahead and I always seem to screw that up. I can never hardly ever do that right. Trying to get this off the right way. All right, I think I did good enough. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, no more other tape. All right, let's get these out. All right, nothing underneath other than just some foam for padding. There they are. I like the case, but we'll take a look at that in a second. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got underneath here. The filler there. We've got our charging cable here. All right, you'll say USB-C to USB-C. I like to see that a lot of people are starting to move over to the C to C version instead of just using the USB-A to C. Not that I have a problem with that either, but I like to see that. We've got our ear tips. All right, let's see. We've got some silicone, and we also have some Comply foam ear tips as well. So we might have to try and test, do a little listening session with both of those and see how it does. All right, so we got that, and we have original H1E HEAVYS certificate, letting you know that these are the official tissue, signed by Axel Grail himself, the CTO of HEAVYS. Fantastic. We got our user guide. You can scan to unlock it and everything. Gives you a little quick instruction on how to pair. And of course, we got safety instructions as well. So We got all the goods here. We're going to put this stuff back in here real quick, because we definitely going to come back and take a look at this stuff a little later on. And we're going to have some fun with it. Especially, I can't wait for the sound test. All right, let's put that off to the side there. Let's take a look at this case. All right, now, they did say that you can take and replace this plate right here. You can take that off. You see it's all by magnets, and you can purchase different plates. Like if you follow a band, you can put their on there and stuff like that. Pretty much like the headphones. Let me see if I can. Let me pull out my headphones quick, because they also have where you can replace the shells on the ear cups. All right, you see with that. So this is not the original. This is the all blacked out HEAVYS shell. You can take these off with these tabs here. You pop that off, and if you got like a favorite band or you want to make your own, you can go ahead and put these on. I could actually change the color of this, but I like that all blacked out, so I'm gonna leave that there. Hopefully they'll come out with a tab with a plate for the headphone case that matches this, so I can have them match. That would be pretty cool. All right, but again, I like the fact that you can change this and basically make it your own. That's always cool. Let's take a walk around it. You got your LED lights here for charging level for the case. You've got your USB-C charging port on the back. I love the matte finish on this, almost like a rubberized feel, but very matte. You ain't got to worry about fingerprints there. Let's go ahead and pop this open. And there they are. You got that nice slow, like right about here, it slows up. And you got that nice rigidity there, where it will stay where you want it after a certain point. All right, so there's the headphones there. They give me that vibe of the almost like the edifier earbuds. That's what they remind me of. You got your pairing button here. That's your heavy with the heavy logo on it. That's your pairing button. I love that touch that they put their logo in there. You can see the HEAVYS branding on each earbud. Let's go ahead and pull one out. I absolutely like the design. Again, gives me that vibe of the edifiers, but you got them sharp corners here, the sharp edges. Just give that its own like unique take on it. All right, we got the tape here on it that's covering the contacts. So we're gonna take that off. But man, I like the way that look. I like that all blacked out. Oh, I dropped it. That all blacked out look on it. Got the medium ear tips on right out of the box. That looks good. Let's go ahead and put these in real quick. Let's go and get the tape off the left one. All right. Let's go ahead and pop these in. We're going to cut the camera over. And we're going to take a look, get these locked in. All right. Okay, there we go. And here's how they look in the air. I think they, like that. They sit in nicely once you got them set in right. They sit in. They're very comfortable. I more likely will go up to a larger ear tip. But right now they are very comfortable. Very lightweight. Not moving at all. The jaw test. Yep. Nothing. They seem to be doing a fantastic job. Yeah, staying in. Very comfortable. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get these powered up. We're going to get them paired up to the phone. We're going to take a look at them in the app and see what they got. Stay strapped in. All right, we are back in. Let's go ahead and get these guys paired up. Let's pop these in. Let's see if we get them in the pairing mode here. All right, they are pairing. So they do not have like Google Fast Pair or anything like that. So we got to go in the old fashioned way. Go into our Bluetooth settings here. Scroll all the way down the list. There they are. They're at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and hit pair. Yes. And we are connected. There they are. Well, wait a minute. They're connecting now. I don't know what's going on there. Let's see what. That's interesting. It still says connecting. All right, I said it couldn't connect to the heavy, so let's go ahead and try it again. Let's back up. There we go. All right, there must have been some kind of hookup or a hiccup there, rather. So we are in. So let's go ahead and jump into the HEAVYS app. We're going to take these guys out quick just to make sure they are connected. We're going to take them out of the case. There's a volume slider. All right, so we're good. So you're going to connect to HEAVYS. All right, so I got music coming out. So we're going to HEAVYS Earbuds. There we go. And right off the bat, there's a firmware update. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and run this update. And then we'll take a walk through the app. Stay strapped in. All right, we are back in. Update has been completed. They say you can see there you have the latest firmware version will notify you of future updates. So we're good to go there. That will not go away on there. So that's on there for right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick walk through the app. You got your label up at the top, HEAVYS. You got a picture of the earbuds here, their left and right, and you got their battery levels underneath. HEAVYS earbuds and tells you their status connected. You can also switch devices. Say, for instance, if you have the headphones, you can switch over to the HEAVYS headphones right from here if you want to. All right. Again, of course, you got how to connect and how to access the HEAVYS store. Let's go in there real quick because I want to see if they have the case covers. I wanted to show you guys that you can actually do that. Let me see. Do they have them in here? Let me just go switch over to the next page. Yes. All right. Here on their page, they have the actual covers that you can go ahead and swap out for the covers for your case here. You can see they have different types of bands and everything like that. They even have a travel case that you can put this in order to, no, not right now, in order to do that. And of course, you can also sell you memory foam replacement kits there as well. So you do have all different ones. I'm really hoping they come out with an all blacked out HEAVYS plate. That way I'll put it on and I can match my headphones as well on that. I really hope they do come out with something like that in the future. All right. So moving on, again, not too much to show here on there. You have the device. This is all our device settings. Now you go into the equalizer. Now, you got to make sure it's connected, the firmware is up to date, and you have to have music playing. So we're going to go ahead and put some music on just so we can walk through the EQ settings here. We're going to go ahead and throw something on real quick. Yeah, there we go. We're going to turn it down a little bit so it's not in there. All right, so now we got music playing. Now we got access to the EQ settings here. We could go ahead and make adjustments as we see fit. I'm going to go ahead and just start off with this one being right about here. See where we're at. I'm going to play with that a little bit later on. And that's basically all you have there as far as your equalizer settings. You can go ahead. I'll play this a little later and we'll do the sound test. You can also reset it. But again, and then you got the option to turn it off and on. So you can go with the EQ or without. But that's basically it when it comes to the equalizer and any sets. The touch controls are preset. They are you cannot adjust them at all, at least as of right now. Maybe in the firmware update and the software update for the app, you'll be able to change how you want to use your touch controls on these earbuds. But again, we'll also test that later on. You know, at the bottom here, you got your profile. You can go in, put your profile settings in and stuff like that, and you're good to go there. All right. So very quick and easy app. The simplicity. I wish there was a little bit more to it, but I like the simplicity to it. I'm glad that it's actually up and working for the earbuds. So let's go ahead and continue our testing. All right, we're back in. What we're going to test now is the multi-point connection feature for these headphones. As you can see, they are connected to the Z Fold 7. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and turn off Bluetooth. All right, so we're going to put these guys back in the case and get these guys back into pairing mode. Oh, they already went into pairing mode. Let's go ahead and put them back in anyway. All right, so now they're back in pairing mode all by themselves. All right, so we're going to go ahead. They do not have Google Fast Pair, so we got to do it the old-fashioned way here on the Tab S11 Ultra. Sorry. So we had to go in, scroll all the way down, find them here in the tablet. We're going to pair them, and they should be connected. They got the flashing, so we're connected. There's a volume slider right there. And there they are at the top of the list. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these out. And we'll go back over to the Z Fold 7. We're going to turn Bluetooth back on. Okay. And we're going to let everything come up. To show them that they are connected via the tablet. So we're going to go ahead and connect them here on the phone. And there we have it. So as you can see here, Multipoint does work. We have it connected here on the phone as well as here on the tablet. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put these in. We're going to go ahead and test the Multipoint function and see if we get auto switching as well. Okay, so we got them here. Let's go ahead and get a video up. All right, let's go to videos. All right, we want to grab this one here. Pause that quick. All right, so we got one there, and we're gonna go ahead here on the tablet, and we're gonna grab one here as well. All right, we're gonna pause that. All right, so now we got 2 videos queued up. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go ahead and play here on the tablet. All right, audio is playing on the tablet. All right, let's pause that. And let's go ahead over to the phone. Got audio here on the phone as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see if we can go ahead and hit play here on the tablet and see if it automatically pauses the audio on the phone and switch over. All right, so here we go. And no, we don't. Actually, it does not work. All right, so we have to pause it and then go over to the second device. So there's Multipoint works, but no auto switching. Hopefully they'll update that in a firmware update. But again, not a deal breaker. Let's continue. All right, next up we're going to test is the mono mode feature. We're going to go ahead and see. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. All right, we'll go ahead and see if we can listen to one of these earbuds while the other one is charging in the case, okay? So we got our video up, our audio up rather. So let's go ahead and hit play. All right, audio is playing. So we're going to start here with the right earbud. Put that in the case and close it. Audio continues to play in the left earbud. All right, let's go ahead and put the right one back in. Okay, now I just want to notice something. I want to mention that the noise canceling, or the I guess you can call it the hell blocker mode, that well, I guess that's what's going on. But it seemed like when you took out one earbud, I don't think I had noise canceling turned on. But anyway, if you take out one earbud, you kind of get like a more of a transparency mode when you have just one earbud, and it kind of lowers the overall volume, but you still can hear it, but then you can hear your environment. I just wanted to point that out. I think that's pretty interesting. All right, now let's go back into this. Let's take the left one out, put that in the case, close it, and see, again, did transition once I put the earbud in the case. Once I closed the case and effectively turning off the earbud, it changed the overall volume of the right earbud, but audio continued to play. I just thought that was the thing. I just find that very interesting because you don't see that in other earbuds. I like that. So you can. All right. So back to the test. You can definitely use these individually, doubling the battery life of them. Plus that extra little feature there that I mentioned. I really like it. Let's continue. All right, next up is the touch control features test rather. Now, all of our touch controls on these earbuds are not adjustable. You cannot change them. They're all set by default. But we'll go ahead and test them. And also, they're all on the right earbud. All right, so we can literally take this right one out since there is no wear sensor on these. So we can go ahead and test it right here. So a single, right, we got audio playing or audio setup. So a single press should get our audio to play. All right, I got the left one in so I can definitely hear it. All right, so we want to go ahead and you single press again right up here at the top area, and obviously it pauses. Okay, so then if we want to skip to the next track, 1, 2, double tap takes you to the next track. All right, now if you want to go back to the previous track or the beginning of the song, you triple press 1, 2, 3. Took me back 1, 2, 3 again. Now I am back to the previous song. All right. Now, as far as phone calls go, a single press will hang up, or excuse me, will answer. A double press will hang up an active call. And if you have an incoming call, you press and hold, and it will send it to voicemail. All right. Now, as far as the noise canceling, as far as noise canceling, that is on the left earbud as I took out here. Press and hold will cycle you through the different noise cancel, either it's on or off. And then if you single tap on the left one, it'll take you into transparency. You turn transparency on or off. But this is when in music mode, so I gotta be hitting. Let me go ahead and hit play. All right, music's on. So if I tap once, it went back into transparency. I hit it. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and do this. Let's turn on noise canceling back on. All right, the hell blocker has been activated. And now we're going to go ahead and single press. All right, so now it just turned it off and on. It went back to transparency and everything. So, yeah, so it works. Very nice. Okay, so we're good. All right, so again, these cannot be changed. Let me pause this. So these features, these options cannot be changed. There's no added ways you can do, or you can't change them to how you want them. And you don't have anything where you can call up a voice assistant. You don't have that, which is a shame. I like to be a full-fledged feature thing, you know. So again, I wish there were more touch control features, and I wish there were more, for these, but it is what it is. But what we do have works very quickly, as you can see. Let's continue.
This is a mic test with the HEAVYS H1E earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the HEAVYS H1E earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the HEAVYS H1E earbuds in a crowded location. This is a mic test with the HEAVYS H1E earbuds in a crowded location.
All right, we are outside for an active noise canceling test with the HEAVYS HE1 earbuds. Let me paint the picture for you. As you can see, we got some really good wind blowing. We got traffic on the road behind me. We got a really good test bed here to get this done. It's actually really chilly too with this wind chill, but you know how we do. We get it in. All right, so right now, the HEAVYS app does not have an option where I could show you that they are in transparency mode, but they are currently in that mode right now, and I can hear everything just fine as far as traffic and everything. And I can actually hear the wind blowing across, crawling this way across my face here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and long press on the left earbud to turn on what they call hell blocker. All right, hell blocker is now activated. And yes, I do have my hat on because it's cold. But I can still hear the traffic. There's nothing's being blocked. I can still hear all the traffic behind me. I know you guys are hearing it in the mic as well. It's not doing anything at all. As far as two things. One, I am rocking the large Comply Phone ear tips. So they're in, and I'm not listening to any audio at all while I do this. So this is strictly the strength of their noise canceling, aka hell blocker technology on here, and it is doing a terrible job in my opinion. Now, the only thing is that hopefully they can do an update rather, to that service, to that feature, and to improve it. So if I had to go from 1 being absolute worst, 10 being the best, I'm gonna give it a 1. I'm gonna give it a solid 1, because only way I know it's on is if they told me it was on. That's it. All right. So hopefully they'll do something to improve it. But right now there is almost it's basically non-existent. So this has been the ANC test for the HEAVYS H1E earbuds. It's got to get better. All right, we're back in. What we're doing now is the sound test. I can't show you the EQ settings right off the bat. I have to be playing music. That's another one of them things that I do not like about the app that I wish they would go ahead and fix. But we're going to go ahead and get our music started. All right, we are at our optimum listening level, okay? Let me see, we want to make sure. There's no way to tell if the ANC is on, so I'm going to have to go ahead and long press on the left earbud. All right, told me hell blocker is activated. That's their noise canceling feature there. So let's go ahead. We're going to get into our first song. We're going to start off there, all right? So here we go. Dominic Feels on Me, Feeling Good. Let's get that started. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and put me in the box. All right. There we go. Now I'm in the box. Here we go. Our first song. Let's get it. All right. Okay. Right now, nice and clear. A little warm sound, a little leaning to the warm end, but still clear. Let's go ahead and pull up the equalizer. I have it set to that V shape. As far as volume goes, not bad. You really don't have to turn it up. Again, you get the good enunciation, the popping of the B's, P's, and T's. Decent soundstage, not too wide, but decent. I got the foam tips in, just to let you know. I got the Comply Phone ear tips in, so I'm getting a really good seal, which is helping with the audio. Again, good clarity. Background vocalists sound nice and clear. Again, you almost get like a surround sound type of feel to it, because some things come up louder on the left. You know, like as if, again, that left, the vocalist on the left, background vocalist, she's a little bit more prominent on the left side. It just seems like you're in a studio, like a surround sound thing. I like that little effect. All right, let's go ahead and bounce out of that one. We're gonna go ahead and get into our bass song. I like that. I guess I'm not describing that type of that sound. It sounds like a surround sound type of a setting, almost like a spatial audio type of feel, in my opinion. But I like the way that sounded. It gave me like almost like a 3-dimensional type of feel. That was really good. All right, let's go ahead and go into our bass song, Pony by Werenoid. Let's get it. Okay, again, piano sounds nice and crisp. And got that echoing going back and forth from the left and right earbuds. The vocalist sounds nice and clear. Ooh. Okay, the bass sounds nice. Nice little rumble. Could be a little bit more, but then it sounds good right here. All right. Let's go ahead and turn it up. All right. Again, I don't go all the way up to 100% because I like to do this for a while. So try to preserve the hearing. All right. Okay, here we go. Ooh, okay, now we talking. Okay. Nice little rumble with that bass drum. I turned it up. Hold on. All right, I'm getting some kind of distortion in my right earbud. We're going to let's back up a little bit. All right. Now, this happened at the higher volume level. I want to see. Let me adjust. Let me adjust a little bit just to make sure I'm locked in, because it sounded like I was getting a little bit of a distortion there. All right, here we go. All right, again, we're still at the higher volume level. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to go back up to that bass drum. I get like a little bit of distortion there. I want to see if it comes back. All right, here we go. Okay, it must have been all right, it must have been I might not have been set. They might not have been seated rightly, but because it's gone now, that little distortion artifact is gone. Yeah, pause it, come back. Bass sounds good at the higher volume levels, but it's gone now. I'm going back down to where I belong. But I just wanted to make sure I cleared that up before I continued, just to make sure there was no ongoing issue. We'll keep an eye on that, but it looks like I think it cleared itself up, maybe because of them having to be seated in. Maybe I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't seated in all the way. That quick adjustment, and that was gone. All right, so let's go ahead and go into. We're gonna do a rock song with these, because the heavies are. They say they're engineered more to like your heavy metal, so we're gonna give them some Guns N' Roses. Here we go. Again, I love that guitar solo at the beginning. Sounds very crisp. All right, let's play with the EQ a little bit. Let's bring it down, the bass down. I love how crisp that guitar does, though. All right, we're playing. All right, okay. Yeah, okay. It sounds crisp with the guitar, and now you got the rest of the band joining in. It sounds nice and crisp. I turned down the bass. Let's go back to where we were. All right. I like this. I like this set here. Let's see. Yeah, I like this set here. All right, we're back. But I like that how crisp I'm going to call it saxophone. Let me pause this. I like how crisp the guitar was on the solo. They sound really, really good there. I mean, they really produce nicely. All right. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go ahead and grab another song. Oh, I know a song. I don't even think I have it on here, but I'm gonna grab one. You know what? Let's go. Let's grab. Let me see. Let's. There we go. Let's go crazy. Prince. Here we go. All right, we're gonna play this one. It's got some guitars, got some drums, it's got a little bit of everything. We're gonna go ahead and rock out with him. Vocals nice and clear at the beginning. Yes. Yeah. The piano in the background, nice and very clean. I love it right here. All right, yeah, we pick it up. Got the drums coming in. Very clear. I like it. All right. Electric guitars in. Nice and clear. All right, let's turn this up a little bit. Okay. Now it's really starting to shine. They're really starting to show their promise here at the higher volume levels, especially with a song like this. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, again, with the electric guitars, the vocalist is nice and clear. Got that almost like that spatial audio sound to it. It sounds really nice. Yeah, that's good. All right, all right. I just wanted to try it. I just wanted to hear that. That's that's great. That's nice. All right, let's go ahead and get back in to where we were. I just wanted to try something a little bit off the beaten path that but I like that. All right, so let's go ahead and grab. Uh, let's go ahead and do you and that T-Pain. All right. Okay, now this is where the bass song on this. This is where the bass kind of falters a little bit. Let me turn this back. Again, we're at a higher volume level. Let me go back down. Yeah, this type of bass is where the song, where the earbuds kind of falls off. They're not as punchy. They're not as as prominent. It feels like it's pushed to the background when it comes to there. As you can see, we do have the V shape, but it just seems like there's no emphasis on the bass here in this particular song. Now, it did a decent job in Pony, but this song where it's the bass is normally nice and punchy, you're kind of missing that. All right. Okay, let's pause. Let's get out of there. I just wanted to test that in comparison to the Wear Noise song. You could definitely tell that there's a difference in bass there, but again, there was a difference in behavior as well from the earbuds. Okay, let's go ahead and finish off the sound test. Actually, you know what? I want to do one more. I want to do one more before we finish it off. All right, let's. All right. Let me see. All right, where we going? I don't know which one I want to grab. All right, let's do this one. Let's go here. Ace trumpets. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Ace trumpets by Eclipse. All right. Now again, we're gonna see. I like the clarity with the vocalist here. Now we're gonna see how these respond to this type of bass. This. Okay. See now this type of bass. It sounds better on this day in this bass than it did with the E40 song. And again, I am at my. Let me turn back down. Yeah, I'm at my preferred listening level, but the bass sounds better. I don't know. Maybe it might be the song, but I don't think so. Let's turn up a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. You could definitely tell the difference there. But let me pause that. But yeah, definitely the bass sounds different. I mean, the vocals are clear and those sound exactly the same on all songs so far, but the bass responses are different depending on the song. All right, so there's no consistency if it's as far as which bass as far as your bass and how it hits and everything. All right, let's go ahead and grab our final song here, all instrumental. We will go with Kenny G Home. I know I saw in the comments somebody was saying, Kenny G, you about to get your man card taken. Hey, I'm thinking like this. Look, I'm man enough to admit that I like it. There it is. Then so my man card is secure. You know, I'm not one of them guys who's going to be faking the funk, talking about you going to have your man card, but on the low, be rocking it. So, hey, it is what it is. I mean, I solidified my man card years ago. So here we go. Kitty G home, let's get it. I'm just messing with you, dog. You know who you are in the comments. I got you. All right. Again, you got the transition from the high keys to the low keys. Again, a different type of bass and a different type of response from the earbuds. The saxophone sounds nice and clear. Leans a little bit more to the warmer side. But, you know, let's go ahead and change up the dynamic here. All right. Okay, now we lower the bass. Now the saxophone becomes a little bit more crisper. A little bit more clear, not more to the warmer side, but moves more towards the middle. But I like to, again, still give me that balance with the keyboard. And the low key bass is almost really faint. So when you make these adjustments, you're taking away, but yet you're gaining something else. So you gotta take that in mind. That's all right. Let me close out of that. That I like that crispness. Let me actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll deal with that later on. All right. But so far, as far as the let me go ahead and flip this over. So my thoughts on the sound test for the heavy HE1 or H1E headphone earbuds. I'm gonna call them headphones. I like the sound. I just wish I could really fine tune it better than the equalizer that they gave us. They gave us that 5 band. I wish it was like a 7 or maybe 8. You could really get into it and really tweak the bass as well as the mids and highs. I think you'd be able to get a better response out of the bass as well. When it came, the mids and highs were great across the board. All the vocalists and all the instruments sound the same, sound really good. And then we had to fine adjust it, like I just did with the last song. It sounded a little warmer. I adjusted it, moving down the bass. The saxophone became crisper. But when it came to the bass, then it was some sorts of inconsistency there when you went from one bass song to the next bass song to the next bass song. You got completely different responses. Granted, there are different types of bass, yes, but you would think you would get when it came to the punchy side of it, you would get that same constant punch on all three, because even though it was different types of bass, that main punch was always constant. I mean, the low end was different, but the main punch was there, and they didn't get that done. So it would just sound different. And then like in the lab, it just was inconsistent in my opinion. So that was it. I'm just done. Stop rambling about this. Let's go ahead and get into my likes and dislikes. All right, we're back in. Let's talk about my likes and dislikes of the HEAVYS H1E earbuds. Let's go ahead and start with my dislikes. First off, I don't like the fact that the touch controls are set. You cannot go into the app and go ahead and utilize the EQ settings. Well, not the EQ settings, but you cannot go in and set the touch controls as you would wish. I do wish they had more touch control options for these. But again, the fact that you cannot go in and make changes in the app for the touch controls, I do not like that. I don't like the fact that the EQ is disabled until you're playing audio through the headphones. I wish you could go in and still do some changes, make some adjustments to the EQ despite not having audio on. And also the fact that they don't give you some presets to choose from. I don't know, maybe Grail would have some type of preset, like his preferred listening preset for these, or you know what I mean. They don't have those options there, so you just have the EQ and that's it. Would like to see some presets. Also, the lack, only 5-band equalizer. I think that's not enough, especially if you're going to have these as you want to be able to. I think you should be able to do a little bit more fine tuning on these earbuds, just like the headphones. I said the same thing about the H1Hs as well. I wish you could do a little bit more fine tuning. 7-band, even a 7-band would be good. 8-band would be pretty much optimal in my opinion. Like the 3 to 5-band equalizers, I just think you're really missing out on fine tuning the earbuds in my opinion. But that's one of my dislikes as well. The noise canceling really needs to be improved. I mean, it's great in a quiet area, but when I did my testing outside, it only, like I said, the only time I knew it was on is because it told me it was on. It did not block any other traffic noise or any other wind noise, and everything like that. And I had the silicone air tips, and not the silicone, I'm sorry, but I had the comply foam air tips in that to give you that much better seal. But out in the real world, they're really not blocking out anything. So I think that covers all of my dislikes. Let's go ahead and talk about my likes. First off, I like the design of them. Like I said, they give me that vibe off of the Edifier earbuds, but you got the sharp edges, you got the sharp point here at the end. They made it their own design. I really do like that. The HEAVYS branding right there. I really like that they did that. So yeah, I'm on board with that. I like the fit, especially with the comply foam ear tips. I like how they fit in the ear, how once you lock them in, they really don't go anywhere. So yeah, being at the gym with these on should not be an issue. Let's see, the control response. It's another thing I like about it. Very snappy for the ones that we do have. They respond very quickly to your touches, so they really got that nailed down for those. Multi-point connectivity, of course, and I like the fact that you can remove this plate on the case and replace it with. Right now they have different type of bands you can use. I'm wanting this in that black on black, like I showed you with the headphones, how the HEAVYS is blacked out. I wish they would come out with a cover like that. Look at us all greased up. Let me get this out. Get that, wipe that down. All right, that looks better. All right. I wish they do it with the blacked out HEAVYS logo on here. That way it would match my headphones. But yeah, I like that. I do like the overall matte finish of it. Very clean looking. Oh yes, another dislike, no wireless charging on here. I wish they did have that with this case, especially with the matte. That would work great if these were wireless charging. Maybe the next version will have that. Yeah, the sound is good on these. I just wish there was more consistency in the bass when using these. Like certain songs, like I mentioned before, I'm not gonna go into the whole explanation again, but I really wish that the bass was a little bit more consistent across the board, in my opinion. All right, so let me see. Does that cover everything? Yeah. I believe that covers all of my likes and dislikes. The mics sound okay. They're good for phone calls. I never have a problem with talking on them and people hearing me in any type of situation. So the mics are okay in my opinion. But I think that covers everything as far as my likes and dislikes. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So this has been an unboxing and review of the HEAVYS H1E earbuds. Their very first foray into the earbud game. It's a good start. It could be better. I did mention some things that I would like to see improved if they're going to come out with another iteration of these. But But again, some things can be also fixed with a firmware update to this version right here. I will definitely be having a good time with these. I'll keep them in my rotation because I'm quite. They will definitely have their spot for different types of listening sessions, in my opinion. So yeah, definitely. So if you're into rap, if you're interested in these, definitely take a look at them. Especially if you're into like heavy metal music, I think they really shine on that. And your rock music and stuff like that. They have good bass. I just think it's just inconsistent. But again, that could be that could be fixed with a firmware update and a better EQ. If they bring a firmware update to the app, giving us a better EQ with more I guess bands in the EQ that we can fine tune. I think these would really shine. All right, and yeah, I think that's it. If you like what you see, go and hit the like button. Almost lost my train of thought. If you want to join me as I continue to do videos like this and others, I got some Gauntlet series is coming up. I got some unboxings to do as well. We are getting ever closer to that 10,000 subscriber mark. I'm very humbled and appreciative of you guys. I will always I will always say that because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I wouldn't be able to get this far into this without you guys. So much appreciated. So once we do hit that mark, we will have a live stream and we will be able to chop it up and celebrate and like have a good time for an hour or two. And it's going to be great. So I really can't wait for the live stream. Let alone just getting having 10,000 subscribers. Yes, but I'm really excited for the live stream, to be honest with you guys. All right, so again, make sure you hit the like button. That helps with the algorithm and allows me to reach more subscribers. Also, I know there's ads in these videos. Go ahead and watch those ads. They help me generate revenue so I can bring you the reviews and stuff of the products you guys want to see and want to know my thoughts on. So I hate asking you guys to do that, but it is what it is, and it all helps out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That'll get me, that also helps. And hit the notification bell. That way you guys are notified when videos like this and others drop. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.